I was desperate at the time, like I wanted to like get in it. If you're going to be a designer toy store, you got to have Dunny, right?
It's been a long time. Waffles, that was like so 2018. No, it's kidding.
It's time for live reaction with Jess. Hey Toy Family, welcome to the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything designer toys. I'm Gary Ham.
I'm Teresa Hawkins.
I'm George Gaspar.
And guys, I don't like this every other week schedule we got going on. It's messing with me.
Weird.
It was your idea.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It what? Wait, whose idea was it then?
It just kind of happened. It's just unavailability issues and like stuff like that, so we just kind of fell into it. And it's happened 3 weeks in a row, and now I'm all out of kilter.
Well, let's bring it back around.
Well, you won't be here next week, so it'll be another
That's
week
true.
out.
I will. You can still record without me. I'll be in Florida. I need a little bit of a brain break from the crazy things here, so I'm going to enjoy some beach and sunshine with my little fur baby. It'll be good. Okay. But you can still record. Nice. We can do weekly. Make it happen.
All right, so anyways, we are being joined by a guest. He's been on before, but you probably wouldn't know it because we didn't let him talk. For our 5 Points Festival episode, we had a guest join us to help wrap it up, and that guest was Cory of Strange Cat Toys. He's the owner of Strange Cat Toys. He also happens to be a sponsor of the show, and we thought it would be fun for him to finally join us and help wrap up 5 Points with us. So I went back and re-listened to the episode today, hoping that would help refresh my mind of what was said so we don't repeat ourselves today. And you were right, Teresa. He barely said anything. You and I talked the entire time.
See? That's why I said we have to redeem ourselves and let him back on as a guest because we were terrible.
We were awful.
So we're actually going to let him talk. I promise I'll sit back and just listen.
Yeah, we're going to redeem ourselves this time. So let's welcome back Cory of Strange Cat Toys. Cory, I'm so sorry that we barely let you talk last time.
Hey, no problem at all. Happy to be back on.
So, today we're going to focus on you, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever met George? Have you guys ever seen each other at conventions? No?
No, I've DM'd him a couple times on Instagram. That's been the gist of our interactions.
Was I a dick? That happens sometimes.
No, you seemed super nice. And then you complimented the beard oil about how I shipped it as you guys were recording. So that was also cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I have that up on my shelf in my studio.
Nice.
Did you use it first?
Wait.
Hell no.
You haven't used it? It's just for display?
No, it's just for display for the stroll.
But wait, George, you could still use it and still have the bottle to display.
I was nervous it was not real. Like, I thought it was like a novelty item.
It's real.
Well, you need to try it. It's like Funko cereal. You got to eat stuff in the box.
All right, in 6 months, when my beard is fully in and like really in there, I'll put the beard oil in to try it.
All right, and then we can make a Double G Toys beard oil.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool, actually. Are you gonna do the whole toothpick thing again, George?
I don't know. Let's wait till it grows in first. Let's see if I can get that far again.
Let's see if we can get to talking to Cory.
I know.
All right, so Cory, you're a longtime sponsor of the show, fantastic store owners of Strange Cat Toys, but we actually don't know how Strange Cat Toys got started. I heard a whisper that before Strange Cat Toys got started, you were a collector, but you also were somehow involved with Funko Pops. Did that have anything to do with how Strange Cat Toys got started?
Ish. Yeah, I was a collector of like NECA and McFarlane for quite a while, and then I started to get into the Funko Pops and then flipping toys on eBay. So it really kind of got my collector mojo going. And so me and my buddy started an action figure store called B&C Toys. It was mostly McFarlane and NECA, and we were going kind of like the toy hunter style, and we'd go through people's collections and garages and things like that and Craigslist, and we were just like basically just working hard for not much. And then we eventually, within a few months, made an official LLC and opened up a NECA account and Entertainment Earth, and we started buying wholesale and building up a little bit better than having to go and dig through like junky toys and have to clean them off to resell them. So that's kind of where it got started. And then I met my wife, and before we were married, I went over to her place and I saw a Joe Ledbetter dunny. I was like, well, what is this? What are these dunnies? And so that's kind of where I got introduced to Kid Robot product and designer toys.
It's always Kid Robot and the dunnies. That seems to be like the main gateway.
What year was all that? Sorry, I didn't hear.
This would have been like 2011.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I started getting into it. And I started to lose kind of the passion for all the McFarlane and the NECA. Like I used to like love all the Alien releases and Predator. I still like it, but like I would just kind of look at my shelf and I just felt like there was no life in the toy. It was just an action figure. Like there was nothing really behind it. And I'd look at my wife's shelf and see all this artist's work behind it, and it actually had somewhat of like a soul to it.
Okay.
So my buddy, luckily enough, I guess it worked out. He just kind of fell off the face of the earth. So BNC Toys slowly moved over, actually not slowly, pretty quickly moved over to just Final Toys. And then I was able to open up a Kid Robot account.
So did you run under BNC Toys for how long before you made it Strange Cat?
Probably a year.
Okay.
So wait, when you started selling back in 2011?
That's when I started doing like the eBay stuff. We've been Strange Cat for like 4 years, and then we were BNC Toys like 2 years prior.
Okay. I want to know why Strange Cat. Do you have a Strange Cat?
So when we were coming off of BNC Toys, because that was just me and my friend's initials, right? It wasn't clever or anything. I'm like thinking like, what am I going to use? Like there's Cotton Candy Machine. That's a weird name. Like how'd they come up with that? So that's kind of, or like I was thinking like, let's come up with something cool and weird like that. And the logo and the name is off of my cat. His name was Grandpa. He passed like 3 years ago, but he was like such a weird cat, and I thought Strange Cat sounded kind of cool. You know, I also thought like Stranger Factory and Flying Cat. So I kind of comboed some cool words that I thought was nice, and I kind of regretted it almost immediately.
Because you had cat fanatics?
Well, so I would go and set up at these weekend pop-up events or Comic-Con, and people, they still to this day, they're like, hey, you have cat toys? I'm like, no. Or they're like, these are for cats? Why are they so expensive? I'm like, these are not fucking cat toys. You think these are cat toys? Like, come on.
Well, take advantage of that. Leverage that. Go out and get a cat toy wholesale account and diversify your shop.
I know. I feel like I need to get, like, I don't know, some sort of plush designer to make, like, a catnip toy just so I have it.
Yeah, get those, what did we see at 5 Points Fest? We picked up for Andrew Bell's cat. We picked him up. It was like a hat for his cat. It was like a fish hat for a cat. You need some of that stuff.
Yeah, and it would probably sell. Like when I do these weekend pop-up events, they're at like these indie markets, and it's mostly people selling like $20 planner things that they made, or weird rocks or homemade jewelry, like things like that. Like it's not designer toy scene at all.
Yeah.
I just do it for kind of exposure, and I've built some regular customers from it. But the amount of people that ask for cat toys, you don't know how many times I've thought, like, I should just close this up and sell cat toys.
Or just carry it on the side, I'm telling you. You gotta do it.
It'd be funny. And all the cat enthusiasts will love you for it.
Yeah, and I have been able to convert some customers to buy Andrew's Stink Box. I'm like, no, but we have this.
Yeah, see? Blend the world.
All right, I'll do it.
Nice. And Martian Toys has to sell toys for Martians. But anyway, so you're primarily a web-based store, but you travel around and do some shows and stuff. And one way that you travel around, I think a lot of people probably don't know, is you bought yourself like a small short bus, and that's how you would display the toys. You would drive around to conventions, and people would have to go inside your bus and then actually look at the toys that way, right?
Yeah, people had to come inside to look at it. Like we took all the seats out and put shelving and put custom seating in, and put like a lot of work and money into it. And I drove that thing around for almost 3 years. And the main reason I got it, so when I opened up my Kid Robot account, I could only buy like the licensed stuff.
Okay.
At the time, they wouldn't let you get the art toy or dunny unless you were a brick and mortar. So I asked my rep, I said, hey, if I buy a bus and turn it into a store, does that count?
Yeah, loophole.
And he said, well, buy the bus, retrofit it, and send me pictures and we'll see. This was kind of like a big if.
That's a big gamble.
Yeah. So I went for it and I did it, and he loved it. So that's how I was able to get Dunny.
Wow.
That is pretty cool. Are you still doing the bus today?
So not last December, but the December prior, we went down for Art Basel to have JC Rivera and Nikki Davis paint the bus, and we were going to sell toys out of the bus during Art Basel week. And we got the bus painted, and everything was cool. And we went back to the hotel, and the next day we were supposed to come out and start selling, like actually try to make money doing this. The fuel tank strap holding up the fuel tank broke, and my fuel tank dropped while we were on the interstate. It just started gushing out gasoline. So it was nuts. When I called AAA, they're like, "Oh, if there's gasoline, you got to call the fire trucks." So fire trucks had to come out there. They poured kitty litter all over the gasoline, and they were like, "All right, we're done. You can get your tow truck now."
That's crazy.
Yeah. And my wife was pregnant at the time. She was like 3 months pregnant. So it was like the worst possible time this could happen, Like we spent all this money going down to Miami. The hotels are not cheap.
No.
The trip wasn't cheap. I mean, we're in Florida, so it wasn't a crazy drive, but to get our bus towed back to Tampa, because none of the shops there said they could fix it or had a part to replace it, it was like $1,100 for that tow truck.
Damn.
Yep.
No AAA for the bus, huh?
Well, they said they wouldn't cover it because we had RV AAA for it, and they had covered it in the past, but the person I talked to at the time said no, they're not going to cover it.
So does this mean you never ended up doing the repairs, and it's just kind of a retired bus at the moment? Or what's going on with that?
So it sat for 4 months until I was able to find a replacement fuel tank, because it's such an old bus that they don't just make that part anymore. So I had to wait for a used one to just kind of come along. So one finally popped up on Craigslist in Atlanta. So I drove up there with my buddy, and we bought it and brought it down, and I had the repairs done. And then that bus worked for like 8 months after that, with small issues here and there. And it still runs today, but I sold it back in September and purchased a new larger bus with AC and no leaks and no issues. And we're just waiting to clear that thing out and get it painted and turn it into a shop again.
Nice.
Well, cool.
Wow.
It's
adventures.
It might be cheaper than having a brick and mortar, though.
Well, yeah, and it's safer too, like I can just go park at an event, or I can set up next to a gallery or something and then just leave when I'm done.
But do you keep the stock on the shelves when you're driving? Does things topple over, or is everything quake glued down, or how do you handle all that?
So with the old bus, I had shelves that I would have to set up every time I went and set up and put all the toys up and put them on display. And then when I'm done, I got to break it all down and put them in bins. So it's kind of like setting up for my own like mini con every weekend.
For all the thieves out there listening who might be looking for the next victim, do you leave everything in the bus, or do you take it out each night?
No, I take everything out. The humidity in Florida is so bad that if it was out there for a week, the boxes would just look like, they'd be all super wet and gross and deformed. This bus also had a really bad leak too. So when I would drive during the rain, it would like leak all over my lap. It was.
This is starting to sound less cool, more like a nightmare.
Yeah, it ended up turning into a nightmare. So that's why I was like, I have to get rid of this bus and get something better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, though. It's fun. I mean, there's no one else out there doing this like you.
I'm still reflecting on the fact that in order to get Dunnies, you had to have some kind of brick and mortar, and did that through a bus. I'm still just baffled by that, because I don't know if that rule is still in place, because I feel like I see a lot of people get stuff wholesale that don't have brick and mortar, which just boggles my mind that you were like, I'll do a bus. But it worked.
There was a store here in Phoenix called Red Hot Robot, and they haven't been around. They closed several years ago, around 2012 or so. But I used to go in there every other weekend, once a month, and just hang out and talk with the store owner, Jason, there, and I got to know him pretty well. And yeah, I do recall him telling stories of some of the brands and companies he worked with did have stipulations. I don't know if they were like you had to be a brick and mortar to get the product, but you had to meet minimum order quantities to get certain things in, or have a certain number of designer toy sales within a given month to even get exclusives and chases. So it doesn't surprise me that you had to be a brick and mortar to get the product, but it does surprise me that you bought a bus to get it.
I was desperate at the time, like I wanted to like get in it. Like if you're going to be a designer toy store, you got to have Dunny, right?
Oh, absolutely. Of course. Yeah. And was it worth the risk though? When you actually landed the designer toy account, did it make a huge difference in sales?
Oh God, they were like 70%.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's great.
Like we were just rolling like all Kid Robot. Like Kid Robot was our bread and butter, and I actually haven't had an account. It'll be 3 years this April that my account was closed.
Wait, what? Your Kid Robot account is closed?
Well, can I ask why it was closed, or was that just? Is there something nefarious, or like are you not allowed to talk about it?
Oh, I mean I could talk about it. My account's closed, so. So my sales rep at the time at Kid Robot, this isn't the same one that when I had the bus. They changed sales reps a couple of times since then, but this person doesn't work there anymore. But she was very hard to work with and was very passive aggressive. And the issue was that she had put too many products of a certain Dunny release on my order, and they had already been shipped. And I was like, I did not order this. I mean, it's like double what I ordered. Can you call FedEx and have it sent back? And she was basically like, no, I'm not doing that. So I sent this email to her to tell her how terrible she was at her job. Like, this is your job. You're a sales rep. You're supposed to do this kind of stuff. And I forwarded it to her boss. And then maybe an hour later, I get an email saying, we regret to inform you that we'll be closing your account. All your pending orders have been canceled.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had like 50 Freeney Dunnies on pre-order that were taken away. So I had to go around to all the different designer toy shops and some non-designer toy shops that sold Kid Robot and buy them all retail so I could fulfill orders.
Ooh.
And
is there, I was to say, is there, maybe I just don't, I'm sure there's a reason, but it was better for you to do that than just to refund the pre-orders?
Well, yeah, because like this was a sellout Dunny, like I didn't want my customers to be like, waiting, they're expecting me to have this for them. And then me to be like, this was like a week before they were supposed to ship out, for them to be like, me to tell them, oh, sorry, we don't have this. Hopefully you can get it elsewhere. Everybody else was pre-sold out.
Ah, well, that's cool of you to spend the time to do that and like care about your customers enough. What, George?
And the extra money to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it cost. Yeah, it was a ton because I also had to pay for shipping from like 6 or 7 different stores. A couple of them I did reach out to, and they sold me some at wholesale, but that was like maybe like a fraction of what I had to purchase.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and I got all this news while me and my wife were closing on our house, so it was already a stressful day.
I bet that's an email you wish you could take back. But
yeah.
How are you? You're still selling Kid Robot product. How are you getting it still if you have a closed account?
So I have to kind of source some of the KR stuff through other channels.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I thought all that bus stuff was probably your biggest challenge, but this sounds like it definitely was.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have to close.
Yeah, but you didn't. You persevered. You faced, the adversity of the challenge of it. And it seems like you, I don't know, in a weird sort of way. I mean, to be honest with you, it seems like you're a lot more diverse today. You're branching out, and I've seen in the last few years you've been doing a lot more import products from the East. So it seems like maybe in some sort of weird way it pushed you to branch out and broaden, like what you carry for your store.
Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise, man. Like, Aaron at Marsham Toys really convinced me to not give up. I was ready to just kind of throw in the towel, and he's like, no, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. And, I looked out there to see what all the other stores had and who was doing well and what products are doing good. And, I looked at our Coke and Pepsi, which was Rota Fuji and My Plastic Heart. And so I kind of, paid a lot more attention to what they were doing.
It's interesting that you just made them the Coke and Pepsi. That's cool.
Well, I mean, they are, right? I mean, who else would be?
But no, I mean, I think especially too for someone up and coming, like you working to build Strange Cat and become more of a presence in the scene as a seller. I mean, it's cool for you from your perspective to be like, hey, what are the top dogs? Oh, I think that they're my plastic heart refugee. I'm gonna go kind of check out what they're doing and see if I can learn.
Yeah, and then I started to try to reach out to the Asian producers, and it was pretty hard at first, like not many people would return emails or they didn't have an Instagram. So luckily I found like the secret to contacting these people. So I was able to do so, and it's been like the best thing ever because for the most part, they're all very nice and they all want to have some sort of representation in the US, and everybody's trying to build their Hello Kitty or, their character and try to bring it stateside.
No, that's cool. And I've actually heard that in the East, a lot of the Eastern countries, email really isn't a main source of communication for them anymore. It's mainly applications. I think like WeChat is the one I read about.
Yeah, WeChat and WhatsApp have been.
WhatsApp.
Yeah. Okay. But now finding these people, the certain toy producers or people that work for the producers, finding their contacts is very hard. So I had to ask like friends of friends, like, hey, do you have this person's contact? Do you have this person's contact in order to get their info? Because it's not like you can just search, for somebody that works at Pop Mart on WeChat.
Yeah. And being a niche kind of a toy scene, I imagine people are pretty tight-lipped on sharing their contact list, I imagine. It couldn't have been easy.
Yeah, no, I had to beg for Pop Mart for like a couple months, 2-3 months.
But you're using those apps as your communication method?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much do business, like almost all the business is done on WeChat and WhatsApp.
So weird. So different.
It's interesting, though.
It's a lot easier than email, too. When you email somebody on the other side of the world, a 10-minute conversation takes a week.
No, I mean, I think it's cool. I don't know. Pop Mart's one of those things that I feel like has just blown up like crazy. If of all the different blind box news I see, I feel like the amount of stuff they are pumping out right now is ridiculous. I mean, it's just, and the partnerships they're starting to make with people in the designer toy scene, it's just, I am constantly seeing news. I mean, Puckies were nuts, but now even this year I'm seeing all over the place stuff, and they just announced the one with the Labubu, but like, as someone who's interested, right, I go to their website and it's gibberish and there's no way to order, right? So the fact that you and along with other stores are starting to carry this stuff has been awesome, because otherwise it's just, you'd be stuck. So I think it's cool that you found a way to get in and be able to carry it, because I feel like there's obviously a demand for it. And with the way they're making product, I feel like it's just going to keep going.
Oh yeah. Like when we got Pucky, like, that's just like really when it blew up, like Pucky is way bigger than I would have thought. I think that we sold almost 70 cases of those pool babies.
Wow.
I was one of them.
Yeah, that's the most of any miniseries I've ever sold, like ever. I couldn't believe it.
What's the second closest?
The second closest was maybe the McPherson minis that Kid Robot did last year.
Oh, okay.
And that was, I think we did 14. So there's a pretty big gap.
That's a big gap. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's
crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Those pool babies, I swear, I don't know, they caught me and they're awesome. And then Pucky blew up and they started, I was like, oh God, the series keep on coming. I can't keep up. It was like,
well, they did, what, 3 or 4 releases after the initial Pool Babies release. Do all the Pucky miniseries do that well?
Not that well, no.
Just the initial one did really well?
The other ones still did well, right? Like, those are my top 3, or top 2 and top 3 now.
Yeah. Wow.
But Forest Fairies did really well. The New Year's did okay. I mean, we end up selling out all of them, so they're always good. And then the Three Little Pigs was kind of like an off series, right? So that was only like 8 pieces, and it was for the Year of the Pig.
Yeah.
When you say New Year's, you mean Christmas?
Oh, sorry, yeah, Christmas. Sorry, not
okay.
Good catch.
No, that's okay. I want to make sure I'm following. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how much more they do for Pucky. But I was surprised at how, like, Pool Babies came, and I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Like, I can't wait for the next one. And then we see Forest Fairies. I'm like, oh, already? Cool. And then you see Christmas. You're like, like, I haven't even bought that many Forest Fairies. Like, I can't keep up. So they're kind of killing me a little bit. I know we talked about the fatigue a little bit on a previous episode. But at the same time, I'm kind of loving how much Pop Mart's doing. And all the, like, it's like they've somehow leapt into our scene and are collaborating with all these artists. I'm just like, yes, keep going. I can't wait to see who you work with next. So,
well, and they're so smart with how they do their blind boxes. You know, if you want the whole set, you just buy a case and you get 12. You don't have to have a bunch of dupes or be worried you're gonna get 3 of the same figure. Like, that sucks. Like, why are we doing cases of 24? Just do a case of how many the run is.
Totally agree.
You're gonna sell more. It's proven already.
Yeah, well, and I think the other thing that's cool about the Pop Mart cases is they have the hidden or secret component. So it can be a pain because so many times it's always my favorite, which of course they would do that. But it's just another little cherry on top of, like, not only can you get the set, but you have a chance to get this really cool rare one too. So it's like, why not? If you like the majority of them, or, you know, it just seems silly not to. It's what I did with most of, actually, I think majority of the Pop Mart. Oh man, have I bought a case of every single Pop Mart toy?
You can't. There's no way.
No. I didn't mean like that. I meant every Pop Mart thing I've bought, I've always bought in case form versus blind box form. Not that I've bought every single Pop Mart thing produced, but of
high roller. Cory, how do you decide the quantity to order? Is it based on pre-order sales? You just order what is pre-ordered, or are you guessworking based on pre-orders and what you think will sell?
Well, they have a minimum order, so I have to order 144 pieces at a time.
Okay.
So I place my guess order, and then I put them up for pre-order, and if I need to increase, I can go after that.
So you have to buy at least 12 cases.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I can do math. I'm an artist. I can do math. How about that?
I was confused.
That's unheard of.
I was confused. When you say 144 pieces, is that of the same thing or mix and match?
The same thing. So the same SKU, basically.
So if it's Forest Fairies, Teresa, he has to order 144 blind boxes of Forest Fairies.
Okay.
So that'd be 12 cases.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I ask what a case costs of Forest Fairies? Like, if I wanted to buy a case of Forest Fairies?
$123 after they're discounted. They'd be $133 if you bought them all at the full retail.
Okay. That's not too bad. I'm looking at these now. I never really looked at all these before. I know Teresa's talked about them, but I never really paid attention. But these are really darn cute.
Yeah, and the quality is great on them. And, you know, when I put them out on display, when I do the pop-up shows or a convention, like, people are just drawn to them. Like, nobody cares what they're about or what their story is. They just like them.
Yeah, I could see wanting to buy these.
Well, Pop Mart, that's the other thing, too. Not only are the design's great and the collaborations, but the quality. Like, their detail and it's like top-notch quality, but you're not paying like $15 per blind box per se.
Right.
So you think about, like, I won't go there. But
Teresa, you mentioned the new one that just dropped last night, the Labubu Forest Concert miniseries. That's the one with Costing Long. He's apparently working with Pop Mart now. Usually he worked with How to Work, but it's great to see him doing stuff with Pop Mart. And Cory, you were how I learned about this thing. I jumped on Instagram, and you already had like 3 posts about it. I didn't see it on any toy blog. You were the first person I saw, and then I went to a Facebook group. You were already in there mentioning it. Like, you pounced on this thing. So how do you get the info and then get it out there so fast? Is it come through email? Do you find it like on a Reddit thread?
So they don't send out sales sheets. You just have to look out for their new products. I follow Toy Soul Hong Kong, which is a toy show they do every year. And I saw they posted an image, and I was like, is that fucking Labubu? Are they making a Labubu miniseries? So I opened up my WeChat, and I messaged them. I said, can I order this Labubu miniseries? And they said, yes. I said, can I put it up for pre-order? They said, yes. How many do you want? And so I put it up within like 5 minutes.
You were
and then
super
I just made a bunch
fast.
of posts.
Yeah, you were like breaking news. That was crazy.
I know. Now I just went and followed Toy Soul HK on Instagram because like, oh, this looks fun. I want to see toy news too. Man, I forgot we were talking about all this Pop Mart stuff, and I forgot that the Baby Sushi Chino Lamb series is Pop Mart too.
Yep.
What do you think of that one?
Me? This is one of those things where they're weird, and I don't know why, but I still kind of like them. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. There's certain toys sometimes when you look at them and like your first reaction is like, ugh, and then you look at them again, you're like, maybe I didn't like. They're odd, but they're oddly cute. Like the more I look at them, the more I'm tempted to buy them.
I wasn't sure because I know you don't like sushi, so I wasn't sure if you would like that series. Like, Cory, getting back to you, I mentioned that you were doing some of the Facebook groups as well as kind of like a community building or brand building for Strange Cat Toys. And how important is that for you to not only be good at the early bird gets to worm stuff on social media, but also get in there and communicate with all the collecting Facebook groups that are out there?
It's extremely important. I feel like I'm giving all my trade secrets out, but yeah, it's super important. The Collector's Home, which is a Facebook group I'm a part of, and Designer Toy Universe has been really helpful. They really help push my stuff, and I'm involved in like the post, like I comment, and I'm active on the groups, and I'm just real fortunate that they're nice enough to repost or to let me post on there and try to move products and build my brand.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not going in there just spamming, as long as you're in there and you're participating and being part of the community, and I think that's what would really help to build customer retention and customer loyalty is to be in there and build those personal relationships with the collectors in those groups.
Yeah. Oh, and even on the Waffle group, I won the Mega Unbox Dino.
You did? That was you? Huh.
Yeah. I could not believe that. So if anybody thinks you don't win anything.
Right? It's not, I mean, you got to enter to win, and right. I don't know. I had plenty of losses, but when you win something, ooh, it feels good. It's been a long time. Waffles, that was like so 2018. No, it's kidding.
It was. I know it's still ongoing,
really,
but
I've kind of had to take a simmer, just but I've thought about I think with conventions and holidays and stuff, especially near the end of the year, it can get kind of slow, and it has been picking back up. But I've thought about jumping back in it. It's so hard for me to gamble on it. It was really fun at first, but now I'm like, I don't know.
I was going to say, I've been seeing more things being sold on the other fan groups now on Facebook, like Kid Robot Buy Sell Trade. I'm seeing a lot more people putting up stuff for sale in that group. And it seemed like during the high period of the Waffle groups, like it seemed like all of that stopped in the other groups. And now it seems like, okay, that's kind of fizzled out, and now we're starting to see product being sold in the other groups again.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about Designer Toy Universe, it is a nice group, but what's nice about that's different from the other group that we talked a lot about is they allow kind of multi-posts. So if you want, you can throw up an interest post and see like, looking to sell, or if interest, could do a waffle too. And if, a bunch of people say waffle it, they can throw it up as a waffle, but people can just buy it direct as well. So it's kind of a nice merger of options.
Okay, I like that. I don't think I'm a part of that group.
Join.
I'll have to check it out. I know, I can't stay on top of everything. I'm out of touch.
I know.
I do have a little bit of a love-hate with some of the waffles. Like, I'll have customers that I know that reach out to me and they're like, do you have this toy? Like, I've been looking for this toy for so long. And I have some stuff that's not listed on the site that I just keep for if I go to a convention, or if somebody is really looking for something, I'll try to help them. Mm-hmm. And so I've helped people get things that I've had marked sold out for like months. And then I go and see it on a waffle for like twice the price. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's annoying, but can I just say the one thing that's really my pet peeve, honestly, and this is why Designer Toy Universe, I have a little bit of love or hate relationship with that group in general, only because There are waffles that go up that are such flipper waffles, and it really rubs me the wrong way because there'll be a piece like Litter's Works Usamus. I'm so butchering that name. Usamus. I don't know if you've seen those. They were, the booth we went to, Gary. We bought the cute little blind boxes with the beads in it.
I know the ones.
There's the larger figures, and they've kind of just popped up out of nowhere. But anyway, these figures are super hard to get, and I will just see post after post for them being at like $350 when I know they retailed for around like $100. And it's not like I get it, maybe something that's rare or whatever, but when it just sold out and then immediately a waffle comes up for 3 times the price, I'm like, that just drives me bananas. Flipping happens, but when I see it constantly, it just bugs me. And then it also bugs me when people like still join the waffle. I'm like, stop supporting this. It's not good.
Well, I think I talked to them and they said they're going to be at 5 points, so hopefully you can snag some stuff there.
Wait, Litter's Works is?
Yeah, because I asked them we're supposed to be doing an exclusive of that same toy, and I asked about doing it for 5 points, and they said, oh, we're already going to have a booth of 5 points. So.
Oh, fun. We can get more Yay. Oh, I found out the name of those blind boxes are Yay. They're called Yay. Y-A-Y.
Mm-hmm. How lost is George right now?
pretty lost.
Here, wait.
Here's something we could talk about that George will know something about.
You lost me at Labubu.
That was like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. But then I went and looked it up, and I was tuning out, and then I couldn't jump back in because I lost all concentration of what you guys were talking about. But I looked up the Labubu blind box on Strange Cat Toys, so I don't know. You lost me.
Well, now that we got George's attention back, and hopefully some listeners have jumped back in that might have gotten lost too, let's take this brief moment to mention some of our sponsors. So, for all your designer toy wants, needs, and desires, we got 3 great stores for you. First up is 3dretro.com. 3D Retro is a producer of amazing art toys, but along with that, they have a brick and mortar location in Southern California. They host lots of great events. The store is amazingly beautiful, so if you're in the area, be sure to visit 3dretro.com and say hello to their team there. And our next sponsor is, I don't even know if we have to mention you, Cory, because you've been talking and promoting Strange Cat Toys the entire episode, but let's go ahead and mention again. So a sponsor of the show is StrangeCatToys.com. Go there, load up your cart, use our promo code Marsham at checkout, and you will receive 10% off your entire order. And lastly for the stores is My Plastic Heart. My Plastic Heart is located in New York City. If you're in the area, you definitely want to check out their quaint little store. Vin is awesome. The store mascot is awesome. His name is Kiba the dog. But if you can't make it to New York City, fear not. You can visit myplasticheart.com, load up that cart, and as a listener of the show, if you live in the States and spend $75 or more, use our promo code TOYFAM at checkout, and you'll receive free shipping on that order. Otherwise, to stay on top of all the latest and greatest in toy news, be sure to like and follow SpankyStokes.com and TheToyChronicle.com. And be sure to download the Toy Chronicle app at any one of your favorite app stores. Okay, Cory, so getting back to you, we've already heard a few of the obstacles you've had to overcome with Strange Cat Toys over the years. Is there anything else that us as collectors may not be aware of, like of the difficulties that it takes to run Strange Cat Toys?
I mean, just the day-to-day, right? Like, so I have a full-time job. Like, I'm a vet technician. I work at a veterinary clinic 40 hours a week. And then having my daughter a year and a half ago, all of that. And then, you know, I get home from work like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I cook dinner for my family and I hang out with my daughter for an hour, and then she goes to bed, and then my wife goes to bed, and then I pack orders until 11:30.
Damn.
And then start the day at 5 a.m. the next day. So, I mean, just the workload is probably the next biggest hurdle. But
I can't even imagine, Cory. I mean, I work a full-time day job as well. I have 2 boys, 4 and 6 years in age, and it's a handful. I can't imagine running a store on top of that. And not only a store, but you're the only guy behind Strange Cat Toys. So you run customer service, you do all the packing and shipping, and from what I've heard, like, you are super quick on shipping out orders, so you must never get a break.
Yeah, well, we're one of the few stores that charge for shipping or don't offer free shipping. So I don't want somebody to wait a week before they get a ship notice. Shipping is a lot of money. Like, I don't know how these stores offer free shipping. Like, we're not Amazon, we're not Walmart, we're not Target. People are willing to pay shipping as long as you're able to get it out in a timely manner, So we do a flat rate of $6.99, or if it's like an oversized item, it's more. But we also offer first class, so if you have something under a pound, it's like $3 or $4, so it's not too bad. But I have to pay for boxes, I have to get packing material, and then, like I said, shipping is not cheap. I think we spent like $40,000 on shipping last year.
Jesus.
So to just give that away seems insane. I don't know how anybody does free shipping.
It's crazy to me, and because I knew you had another job, but the way that you actively post does not give that impression at all. Like, I don't think most people realize you are juggling the store with another job by the way that you are active on social media and in posts and staying on top of things. It's crazy. I don't know how you do it.
I can't handle day job.
No, he's got like a finger up a dog's butt while he's like answering texts. He's multitasking.
Yeah, I keep my phone on me if something pops up. If there's pretty good amount of downtime at work. Like, it's just a regular day clinic. We're not like doing emergency surgery or anything like that. So it's just mostly like sick dogs and vaccines and things like that. So I'm able to answer somebody's email or question, and my wife helps with the customer service emails too. So we're able to respond pretty quick. Sometimes I feel like my responses may come off like dickish because it's very like short and to the point, but that's because I only got like 5 seconds.
Hey, you, bye.
Right.
That sounds exhausting. So you never just get to sit and binge watch something on Netflix or anything. It's like every night it sounds like you're pretty much shipping.
Yeah, well, my wife got a little bit sick of it for a while. So we've tried to make Sundays like the free day. Like, I try to not do anything on Sundays.
Well, that's reasonable. Nice compromise. That's important in a relationship. Yeah. Speaking of relationships, George, is Jess around? I want to get her live reaction to something.
Yeah, hold on. Let me call her in here.
Okay.
Now you got to play the Jeopardy music.
So she's here. Our buddy Neil is here too. If you hear him in the background, he'll be here as well.
I'm here.
All right.
Hey, it's time for live reaction with Jess. On this week's live reaction with Jess, we're going to be showing her the Messy Style times Forehead Sofubi toy.
I already hate it.
How do you know?
This name is horrible.
Well, it's a collaboration, so I'm not exactly fully sure, but on the image it says Messy Style, and that's the account, the Instagram account I found it on, MESI, then the word style, and then Forehead is the other name that's on the collaboration. These names are new to me. I don't know if they're artists or it's a company. I'm going to imagine it's a collaboration with 2 artists. But anyways, George, I sent you a text with the image, and let's show it to Jess now and get a reaction.
All right, we're opening it.
What's happening?
I'm trying to open the picture bigger.
Is it earthworms in a high heel?
Kinda.
Let's just look on here. It'll be easier.
Hold on, we're trying to find a
bigger image. There it is. Yeah, is it like a cut off leg, like an amputated leg?
It looks like earthworms, like drag earthworms.
Drag earthworm is the best way to describe that.
Like,
the earthworm's lips.
He's a lotion on its skin kind of earthworm.
Hashtag dragworm.
Like, what is that? Like, what is the top half of this?
I don't know, but how great is it? Do you love it?
Like, why are the eyes on one side? Why are they not on both sides?
It's a drawing transformed into 3D.
No, but why is the mouth and why is the mouth on both sides?
This is goofy perfection, Jess.
And they're all sitting there to realize that they should have eyes on both sides?
No, you can't do that. This is very.
We messed up, guys. We put both of the eyes on one side and the mouth all around. We should fix it.
Apparently, you and George have not had kids yet, because if you're familiar with Peppa Pig, it's just like this. Eyes on one side of the head. See, Cory knows what I'm talking about.
Gracious, we haven't had kids. We don't know how eyes work all of a sudden.
Well, in the animation and character design world, this is perfectly acceptable, Jess.
Yeah, but when Peppa Pig is sculpted into a 3D toy, they don't put the eyes on one side. Like in animation, Mickey's ears are always a certain way, but when they sculpt him, it's not that way.
Oh, wait, and I'm sorry, what is this toy called again?
I don't know what it's called, honestly. But let's call it Dragworm.
I think it's a dragworm, like, to be honest. Like,
it
needs, like, the knee or something, but, like, it's weird. It's like an earthworm one day woke up and was like, I, too, can wear high heels.
Oh, wait. I think I'm finding it. The info.
So I know it's dropped. Before this episode drops, it's releasing this weekend for us guys, so the weekend before you're actually hearing this, and there's several colorways dropping, but I don't know price, I don't know size, I just know it's Sofubi, and I know it's awesome.
Okay, apparently there are 3 different colors. Have you seen that?
Yeah, red, green, and black.
Oh, is that what you shared? Sorry, Gary. I'm clearly not following. I only knew about the red one. I'm sitting here thinking I'm having an epiphany.
Glitter hologram? No, not that.
This is adorable.
Now there's a bird eating the earthworm. This is weird. It is weird.
So let's go around.
Okay, hold on. George just put up a picture of the little earthworm drag, like, on the street, and it legit looks like a prostitute, like, earthworm. Like, hey, boys.
That's your prostitute. That's your prostitute voice. Hey boys.
Hey boys. Is that not yours? Is that not how you get tricks?
It's a night out on the town.
Look at that. Now he's in the red light district. I can't. You know what? You already know what the fuck you're doing, Gary. Bye. This is outrageous. It's an earthworm hooker. That's what they're doing with this.
So let's go around. Yay or nay? Would you like this? I say absolutely yay. George?
Oh, 100%. I bought a foot with a banana on it one time at Econ.
And we still have it. It only has one eye.
Jess, what do you say? Yay or nay?
Oh no. No. It's only the eyes are in the wrong spot.
Oh, Teresa.
If it was like a hooker worm, it'd be fine, but
they're so you can see both eyes when you display it. I am on the fence. Like, I look at it and it is the weirdest, goofiest thing, and like I hate it and I love it. I don't think I'd ever buy it. Too. Like, I appreciate its goofiness, but like I don't want that on my shelf at the end of the day.
Well, that is a conversation piece.
I like the head. I like the cute little face.
Like the earthworm?
I like the worm. It's the heel body shoe thing that's like, I don't know. It's so weird. That would be such a weird thing for me to pick up.
It needs a little hat, right?
No, then it's the worm
from...
No, that's new. No, then it's the worm from Richard Scarry or whatever.
The Richard Scarry, yeah.
Let's give it a hat.
No, that already exists.
No.
I have that book.
How about a necktie? Cory, what do you say, yay or nay?
I don't see it in the chat, so I have no idea what it looks like.
You don't know what I figured you knew what I was talking about.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hold on. Get your phone ready, Cory.
Okay.
Incoming.
Can we talk about the fact that on the package it's called Messy Style, MESI, but on the bottom of the shoe itself, it's MESHI?
Oh, weird.
That's on their Instagram. I'm just reading those things.
This, and I always go back to this, but it's basically, I just want to hear what the pitch is. Like, someone drew up this picture with this, like, one-sided eye little guy, earthworm drag heel guy.
I know, get over the eyes.
And they were like, we love this. We think it's fantastic. Let's put it into production 3 colors.
I did see this. I hate it.
Oh.
It's terrible.
It's perfectly goofy. I love it.
I kind of really like it, actually.
Everybody, let's go buy it. It's got ankles. It's got ankles. I can't with it.
Okay, I'm going to show... wait, while we have you, Jess, I'm going to show you one more.
You can't.
I can. Hang in there with me.
Much hatred in my phone.
Neil, what do you think of this one?
It's not mine. No comment.
Neil says no comment.
Earthworm.
Right. Everybody go to Neil Wynn Art and buy some art. Neil Wynn.
Wait, sorry.
What is it? NeilWynn.com?
Yes.
NeilWynn.com.
Nice plug.
Shameless plug. It's all right.
Hold on, I got one more. Do you guys have any other... What's your favorite goofy toy you've ever seen? George, that one you described sound pretty crazy.
I have one that's of George's.
What is it?
Wait, the goofiest toy that I've seen?
Yeah.
It's the little Japanese man that's masturbating. And it has like a wet spot painted on the pan.
Oh my god, the guy that you got a decon?
Yeah. It's by far my favorite thing, and I don't know what it is. It's like awkwardly uncomfortable.
All right, we need to look this up so we actually explain the name. I'm trying to find it real quick. Do you know what, George, off the top of your head? Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't even remember what company I bought it from.
Can tell us everything.
Oh.
Jess, while we have you, I want to show you one more thing. So I included the link in the our little chat window, George.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead. For the listeners, this is Teapot by James Jarvis and Case Studio. It releases March 7th at 6 p.m. on the iLine store. 250 pieces, stands 7 inches tall, and comes with 2. So, George, show her.
I already did it.
She's looking at it.
I love him.
You love it?
Yeah, I love him so much.
Is it an actual teapot or a toy?
Yeah, that was an actual teapot. It's a porcelain teapot, and it comes with 2 porcelain little teacups.
Sold.
See, I love it too, Jess. I was like, that's fun. I like the little spout.
That is so cute. Like, it makes me want to have people over. Like, I know I'm not, but it makes me want to have people over.
And have a tea party and, like, pour stuff out of his cute little arm.
Yeah.
spout.
Like, it makes me want to sing this on. Like, when you do, like, the little motions, like, I'm a little teapot from Insta. Here is my spout. Whoa, what's that?
Whoa, that's amazing.
Wow, that's exciting.
Pretty cool,
We
right?
click the link to go to their online store to see about it, and there's something called Mike Lee's Bump and Grind, and it's amazing.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
There's a whole bunch of singing on this episode now.
That's
Wow,
actually,
someone's been drinking wine, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, don't sound disapproval much, George.
Oh, bump and grind. Yeah, that's nice.
That's
That's
exciting.
looks like a salt and pepper shaker set.
What if it is?
It might be. Okay.
Wait, how are you all seeing Bump and Grind?
Hold on.
It was a link to the store to buy the teapot, and then the second thing up on the site is called Bump and Grind.
So I guess for the listeners, we're on casestudio.com. That's CASESTUDYO.com.
Oh. Interesting. It's sculptural.
Do you think this thing gets pulled if R. Kelly's found guilty?
100%.
Yep.
But let's buy it.
This thing is amazing. I want
That's like pretty exciting. Like the girl in the back is getting it too. Like that's the exciting part. Like she's like feeling the song. She's feeling the little booty.
This website has a lot of really good stuff. It's casestudio.com, and that's not an I in studio, it's a Y. And yeah, they got some really nice stuff. I like the, well, it's already sold out, but the Apple on a Ledge by Para, that's fantastic. Had I known about that, I probably would have picked that up.
All right, now I'm lost.
Welcome to George's world.
I've gone into
I know, George. I'm like, well, the link I clicked went to High Snobiety.
You know what? if you're lost, our listeners are absolutely completely lost. So let's move on. And sorry, Cory, we got a little distracted there.
That's okay.
Any other goofy toys that you guys can think of besides that one?
One toy that I've always liked that's kind of weird and kind of creepy. I don't know if it's maybe more creepy than goofy. It was an old Jermaine Rogers. I think it was called Squire. Was that its name? It was like it looked like the face looked like Bobby Hill, but it was like a pig creature. I love that thing. I still have that on the shelf.
Give me a sec.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah, that looks like a donkey body with a big giant bobby head.
Yeah,
that is kind of weird.
I love that thing.
I mean, Chima Group's kind of goofy.
The little boob people?
Oh, that's Sun Guts. No, I was talking about Chima Group.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of the wrong one. Yeah, but they're cute.
No, yeah, I mean, it's goofy cute. If you're wanting like weird cute, then, or not even cute, just weird, then yeah, Sun Guts in there. They got like those booby head figures.
Yeah, I love those. I tried to buy one at Decon and they were sold out before I got there. And then when I was in Japan, we went to their booth and I tried to buy one and they were sold out before I got there. Scott got the last one when we were in Japan.
Why are those so popular?
Because they're
guys like boobs.
The big thing is penis toys. Like, why would you want boobs and penis toys just chilling on your shelf? I just don't get it.
I mean,
most of the collectors have never felt a boob, so having a vinyl toy of a boob?
Cory.
Come on.
That's so rude.
Oh, man.
All right, Cory, I'm curious about your, let's get back to Cory. Cory, you got a show coming up. This one reason I wanted to have you on this week is next Friday, at the time of the release of this episode. Actually, it's going to be this Friday, right?
No, it's next Saturday, the 16th of March.
Right. So at the time that people are listening to this episode, though, it's March 16th. You're having the Misappropriated Icon 2 show. It's going to be held at All City Gallery in Florida. What city of Florida?
It's in Tampa.
Okay.
It's also it's in a sub city called Ybor City, but it's in Tampa.
And this is the second custom show. Last year around this time, you had Misappropriated Icon, the first show, and that one seemed like a little controversial at first. I think some people in the beginning, this is the show where you're using a bootleg Cause companion as a platform, and you sent that out to people to customize. Am I correct in the beginning? Like, it seemed like there was some controversy over customizing a bootleg toy.
Not as much as I expected.
Oh, that's good.
And it was mostly from the artists that I invited. A lot of people were like, I want to stay away from this. I don't know about doing bootlegs. It seems like a bad idea. But, I talked to a lot of Cause collectors and, other people in the industry. And the consensus was, if you're going to do a Cause show, do not do it on legit Cause. Do not paint over legit Cause companions. Do not cut up legit Cause companions. Just use a bootleg. I don't care.
Yeah. No, that makes absolute sense to me.
So, and also, I didn't have... It probably cost me like $800 a Cause to send somebody a 16-inch dissected companion, from 2006. Yeah. So, if for anybody to buy that, would probably be like a $5,000 custom.
Jesus, yeah. I mean, and with that in mind, I've always wondered if people because I think it's good that you make it aware that it's a bootleg, so people know. But I'm not as big into buying customs, so I just don't know that sentiment if someone would be bothered by that. Same with, there's 8-inch Dunny bootlegs out there. If someone bought one and customized that, would that bug you? I don't know. I don't know if there's doesn't seem like there's a strong opinion.
Yeah, I think if it's a custom, do you really care? I wouldn't buy a bootleg Dunny or a bootleg Cause and just put it on my shelf, but if somebody painted it and sculpted it and made it a new toy, I think it's totally different.
Yeah, I think the key is being open. It would bug me potentially if because I think it's probably dependent upon collector by collector, but it would bug me if someone tried to pass something off as a custom on a real base and it wasn't. I'd rather at least be made aware of it, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And So for the first show and this show, I told all the artists, like, we're not telling anybody these are legit cause. We're being very upfront that these are bootleg. It's going to be in the description, and it's going to be, it's in the title, and Gary, you kind of helped me come up with this misappropriated name.
Did I? How so?
Well, yeah, the first show, I was trying to think of names, and I was like, bootlegger and yada yada, and you're like, no, you got to be more clever, like, it's misappropriation. And so I just kind of spun from that. I never told you that, but I kind of took it from what you suggested.
Look at that. I declined doing the show, and yet I contributed to the title.
There you go.
So in the beginning, was like you said, some of the people that you reached out to customize were kind of hesitant to doing the show. So you ended up having 13 in the first show, and then we started seeing leaks of the customs from the first show, and they were absolutely fantastic. Really high quality work, amazing pieces, and I think they all sold out, right?
Oh yeah, within like 2 days they all sold out. One of them was a week late just because Ian Nuglife he just couldn't get it done in time, and that happens, no big deal. And then we had his up for, I don't know, a week, and then it sold.
Nice, that's awesome. So did the success of the first show and just the overall quality of all the pieces in the first event, did it make it easier to invite artists for the second one? Because I imagine that would kind of curb some of the skepticism, or did you still have some naysayers?
Not as bad. I had just 2 people turn it down because of that, and I also invited them last year, and they said, kind of the same thing, so I was expecting that. But Igor Ventura was kind of a naysayer at first, and then the second go around, he's like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I want to be in the show. So his came out absolutely fantastic.
Oh, so it made it. I remember seeing an Instagram post or something saying he was concerned it wasn't going to get there in time.
Yeah, it's here. I have 14 of 27, 28.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, and I've been getting progress shots from everybody, so I know that they're all on their way. And if a couple are late, no big deal. That happens. And I think one person had to drop out just because she just couldn't finish it in her schedule, but we got somebody to fill the slot last minute.
I have a piece on my shelf right now that I don't think I'm going to be able to finish. Should I tell you that now or email you in like 2 months? What do you think?
Maybe like 2 weeks prior to the show.
Okay. I'll let you know.
I believe in you, Gary.
Talking about this show and I've been catching a few sneak peeks and reveals, and the one that Vanessa Ramirez did, it is so good. That monster, I love it so much. For anyone listening who wasn't following Vanessa, she's totally worth a follow. She's probably one of those artists that is sort of flying a little under the radar and needs to not be, because her stuff is so good. But when I was seeing the sneaks for that and then finally the full reveal, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much time that sculpting took.
Oh, it's insane. And do you have that one in hand yet?
It was actually the first one to get here, so yeah, I do.
Where do you get 30 bootlegs?
Alibaba.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
How was the quality on the bootlegs when you got
them? So in my opinion, I think they're really good. The only poor side is the joints are a little bit loose, but other than that, they came out great. I had one artist tell me that he didn't think it was that good and he wasn't sure he was going to be able to paint on it, but he was able to, and it was fine. But then like Kyle Kerwin was like, did you send me a real cause? Or Kyle Kerwan. Sorry.
It sounds like George is playing the video.
Yeah, yep. Sorry, turn it down.
It's creepy.
It was, but how cool was that, though? So I guess anyone who's not familiar, what we're talking about is there's this video that JFO made for the Misappropriated 2 Icon show, and if you haven't seen it yet, go to his Instagram account. It's _JFO on Instagram. His real name is Jason Forbes, and anyways, he made like this promo video for the custom show, and it's just a hand creepily turning this customized Jack in the Box, and at the end it pops open and you see the promo image for the show. It's really, really cool. Jason is such a talented guy, and he's done some awesome collaborations with several artists in the toy scene, so he does great work.
He's did the night lights with Horrible Adorable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's super talented. I'm surprised he hasn't had like a miniseries done. Like Kid Robot's been doing these kind of miniseries with artists. He would definitely be a good one to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or even I don't know, like a spin, because he does so much with light. Like that's kind of his specialty. Everything he does is kind of lit up typically. It'd be really interesting to see even like a lamp made, or like just,
He
I don't
did
know,
do
some
lamps.
kind of.
That's kind of what put him on the map, was those Dunny lamps he did.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean production, like having Kid Robot produce production versions of some of his lights. But
Mhm.
Yeah, or if it's cost effective for him, if he can produce it on his own and do a smaller run, he could do it. That license deal that several of the independent artists seem to be doing with the Dunny. I mean, they've all seemed to be having good success with it. As far as I know, they've all sold out. And the most recent one I can think of was Kyle Krawan's Boneyard Dunny. It saw the second colorway of it in 100 edition of 100, and it sold out within a couple hours or a few minutes, something like that.
congrats, Kyle. I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, more. And oh my gosh, it sold so fast. Go, Kyle, go.
Yeah, congrats, Kyle. Turned out really nice. All involved. Great job. But Cory, getting back to you. So we've already talked how you're a store owner. You have a full-time day job as a vet tech, but at night you're shipping and receiving and customer service, and you're also doing curating of events. And now we're also seeing that you're starting to get a little bit into the producer role with toys. We saw at 5 Points Fest last year. You reached out to designer Josh Devine, and you helped produce the resin Astro Crash that he designed. And then now we're seeing that that's also going to be a vinyl version too. Was that your first experience as a producer, or your first time producing something for someone else?
Yeah, the resin, and we had the 3D hero Tavon do the 3D sculpt for us, and we were actually going to go straight into vinyl, and we had kind of the story that everybody has, right, where you go to a factory and you have all these promises of this great price or a price that you think is fair, and then you get a big surprise bill at the end that you can't do. Like, for instance, my shipping bill was supposed to be like $15,000, and I was like, oh, that's why the production was so cheap. So we ended up just like losing like $5,000 on that, but we were able to take a vinyl prototype from that factory, and I sent it to Frank Montano to do resin cast for us for 5 Points. So he was able to do, I think, 20 resins for us.
Wait. So you did go into full vinyl production, and you saw the final bill, and you backed out, but you had the vinyl prototype to then send to someone else to make resin cast of it?
Yep.
Holy crap.
It's not what we wanted to do, right? Me and Josh have been going in this together. It's been definitely a journey. Production is not easy for anybody that wants to get into it. It's a lot of learning curves, but the resins did really well, and Frank did like an amazing job. He casted them and painted them all. We were able to take some of those funds to put towards the mold. So we have the molds paid for Astro at our new factory, which is great. And we have a quality control manager that's going and checking on things. And it's supposed to ship the second week of April from China, so we should have them pretty soon.
Wow. And Frank Montano, he's a guy that we should get on the show. Amazing customizer. And it sounds like just an amazing producer, too, or manufacturer.
Yeah, his casts are so clean and his paint lines are so clean. Like we were so happy with the quality of work that he did.
Yeah, I had no idea he was involved, but I think you're right, Gary. We should totally pull him in, because he has the way he customized, and as well as his paint applications are incredibly
it's so unique too. You see it, you instantly know it's Frank's work.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's an Astro Crash.
Well, yeah, but so the fact that he's just a solo guy, the fact that he was able to produce that amount for you for 5 Points is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I imagine he's holding down a day job and stuff as well.
Yeah, he's got a day job, and I think he's got like 3 or 4 kids, so he stays busy. Yeah. I don't know how he does it. I mean, we had originally asked him, I think, to make like 50, and he's like, oh yeah, I got it, but he didn't got it. But it was understandable.
You know who we were talking about, George? Frank Montano?
Maybe.
I think you'll notice. I think you'll recognize his work.
Yeah, like I think I recognize the name.
I think he goes by Feast. This is like artist name.
No,
that's his like business name, isn't it?
That's his brand, I guess. Yeah.
Well, his Instagram is Frank Montano, but I think his he has Blizzard Beast and certain characters, and his he calls it Feast Corp. His website, but
yeah, and he's always so fast. He's real funny on Instagram. He'll get like a new platform and say a janky comes in. He'll just show the blank and, hey, in 2 days this will be up on my store. And in 2 days somehow he primes it, cuts it up, carves it, sculpts it, paints it, and it gets it up in the store. And somehow he can do all this with 3 kids. It's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, and I remember when he came in because he was doing. I remember how unique his sculpts were because not only was he carving into the face to create these open mouths, but he was also doing these tongue sculpts that pretty much, it's like they came out from the core of the head, like the dunny or whatever. And it was just so unique and so crazy. And I had never really seen anyone customize like that, where they carve the face in and sort of create this tongue and inner mouth. And he'd paint the insides of the vinyl black sometimes to give like the dimension and depth of a mouth. Mm-hmm. It was just so crazy cool. And since then, he's just been like, he has a combination of characters, but that Blizzard Beast by far is, I think, his main focus. And he can apply it to anything. I mean, it doesn't matter the platform. He finds a way to make it work. He just did some on Quix's Hello Kitty productions.
He's amazing. So. Yeah, I mean, if anyone who's not familiar, Instagram account is Frank Matano. By far one of the top customizers out there. Just amazing work. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else should we talk about?
Well, we should be having, just to note, we should have Astro Crash ready at 5 points. So the vinyl release should be a year after the resin.
Nice. Do you know like a price point, do you think?
Oh, yeah. So they're going to retail at $99. It's about 10 inches tall.
But still, $100 for 12-inch vinyl seems good.
Well, it's 10-inch.
Or 10-inch, whatever. But 10 inches of vinyl. I mean, you're paying $100 for like some 3-inch, 4-inch stuff out there right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a good price, and I think it's a good quality product. The sample came out really nice, and hopefully having the quality control guy in China, which Dan at Unbox urged me, like, get a quality control person, like, don't start production without quality control. So I listened to him because this guy is like the best in the biz, right? He knows what he's talking about. So we were able to do that, and that just gives you that assurance that it's going to be good.
So what do you mean you have a quality control guy over there in the factories? And does he work for the factory that you're running it through, or does he visit the factory just to kind of manage the quality control for you on that end?
Yeah, so he doesn't work for the factory. He goes and visits. It's actually a guy that I befriended. He owns a store in Hong Kong, and he produces his own toys. And I talk to him on a regular basis, and I told him I was kind of looking for somebody, and he's like, well, I can do it for you. He's like, your factory's like 10 minutes away from my factory. I'll just go do it for you. So he talked to Josh and I about what our expectations were for paint applications and the mold, and our first prototype, the arms and the face didn't lay flat, so that was important that they had to do that. So he's making sure all those things that Josh and I want to be done is on the completed project.
That's fantastic that you have a guy out there that you trust and respect to do that for you, because a lot of independent producers will have to end up spending expensive plane tickets to go out there and visit and oversee quality control, and that just affects your bottom line. So it's great that you have someone that's already there willing to handle that for you. That's awesome. As
much as I'd like to, it's just, it's unrealistic with the job and family, and the cost too. It's quite a bit to just go visit the factory.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So you mentioned that the vinyl Astro Crash is going to be ready in time for 5 Points Fest. Is there anything else that you're going to have on hand for 5 Points Fest that you can kind of leak to us?
Yeah, we have a bunch of exclusives planned for 5 Points and a custom show. We're supposed to have an exclusive with OK Luna, Kurokaban, Mad Kids, and then we're going to do our custom show on the large scale Tara McPherson Skullflower.
Oh, and I will email you 2 weeks before 5 Points about that.
Scary. I'm excited to hear you're going to do a Kurokaban and OK Luna exclusive. I'll be curious to learn what those are.
Yeah, I don't want to say what they are yet because I don't know if they want to announce what it is yet, but they're new colors of characters they've done in the past.
I'm still hoping.
You know what? We should probably let people know that you're getting an exclusive of the mini Whooper Looper, too.
That's right. That should be here in just a few weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was fast.
Yeah, that's what Pabber told me. I'm pretty excited for that one.
So I imagine you're not going to be waiting for 5 points on that one.
I could, but I'm like, God, I got so much stuff. I wanted to talk to you about that. I don't mind holding on to it until 5 points if you want to do it there.
Hey, it's your exclusive. Do what you want.
Okay.
Make some money. Bring your money to 5 points.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Cory. I'm also having an exclusive, too, and I think mine are going to be arriving in a few weeks, so we should probably coordinate so we're not having any sales conflict. You know, let's be nice to the collectors out there.
Right.
Please do it on the same day, a minute apart. You will make collectors flip. They'll be like, I don't know what site to go on and refresh. I can't do both. No, totally joking. Please don't do that, says collectors.
No, I would.
Please
like to
don't
do
put
that.
them for sale at the same day at the same time. Don't torture us.
No, I would like to give a little breathing room in there.
Yeah. You could bring yours to 5 points. Sell it out of your backpack.
No,
There you
see,
go.
and that's wrong to 5 points to do stuff like that, I think.
No, I was
Well,
joking.
You can just come sit at my booth for 10 minutes and then sell out and then go about your business.
Do I have to give you a cut?
No, you don't have to give me a cut.
Nice! All right, done.
Well, it would be kind of, I mean, not that you want to wait and not that you couldn't just go ahead and sell them, but it could be kind of fun for you to sell them at 5 points and you could like do a little signing or something. Make a thing of it. Not yours, Gary, but Cory's.
Yeah.
But what am I saying? I'm a collector. I'm impatient. Sell them as soon as you get them. I want them.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and before I forget, before I got on the episode, I was talking to Nick Eliota, and I told him I was going to record, and he told me to say hi to everyone. So, hi from Nick.
Hello.
Are you serious? Are we doing this on-air recording, really? Any birthday messages you want to send out to anybody while we're at it? For real, we've hit the shout-out portion, so I don't know if we should start. Does that mean it's over? Should we start wrapping it up? Teresa, is this one of our terrible endings again? I feel like our past few endings are just not smooth at all.
Yeah, but we have bad transitions lately. We just kind of stop and say, okay, we're done. Let's sign off.
Portable.
Now Carlos is going to keep stepping in.
Let's just eavesdrop on their conversation.
I know what's going on.
I'll mute you.
All right, Cory, thanks for joining. We finally actually let you talk on an episode. How about that?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
No, it was nice getting to know you. I didn't know any of your history and all that. And thank you so much for being an early sponsor and continuing to be a sponsor of the show. Will you believe if we make it to the end of this month, guys, we will have lasted for 3 years.
Wow.
Wow.
I just want to make it to the 3 years.
And then quit.
I don't know. What's going on lately? I don't know. I feel like we're just starting to fizzle out. But wait, maybe we can keep it going. We need to re-spark it.
I'll send you that bonus sponsor check for your 3-year anniversary.
There you go. Now he's going to stay.
You gonna share any of that with us, Gary?
Guys, I don't make any money.
I'm just kidding.
It goes right to Podbean.
I know.
And pennants and pins that are flying off the shelves.
Oh, I know. We cannot produce enough of those.
If you would like some Marsham Toy Hour merch, we got some. We got pennants and pins. Go to, I don't even know where you can buy it.
Well, and we have shirts too. If you want the pin and pennant, those are actually under your superham.com website.
Is it?
And
really?
Yep.
Huh.
And the shirt is on Threadless, and you don't have the shirt link on our merch section on Podbean, so fix that.
I suck.
But yeah, they're on your website on Superham.
Okay.
And
there you go, people.
they're out.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Cory, thanks again for joining. You were awesome. Why don't you take a brief moment and let our listeners know where they can follow you?
You can find me on all social media at Strange Cat Toys and then strangecattoys.com. And customer service email is meowcanIhelpyou@outlook.com.
I love that. I didn't know that. That's great.
Yep.
Really riding that cat thing, even though you hate it.
Yep. Cat toys coming soon.
Teresa, go next.
Sure. Teresa Hawkins. If you all want to find me, check me out on Instagram. Username is tmhawk24.
George.
And I'm at Double G Toys on Instagram.
And I'm Gary Ham on Instagram, superham.com. This has been the Marsham Toy Hour. We do the show when we can get to it. So until our next transmission, we're signing off. Bye.
Bye.
Are we doing this next week?
This show is going downhill. First it was like, we do this every week. Then we do this every other week. We do this when we can. Fuck this show. I'm never doing it again.
It's not getting that bad, but I just don't know when our next record is. Teresa's gone next week, so I guess we don't have any guests lined up. But George, if you want, we can do something.
Yeah, I'm still in.
Okay.
I want to see that. I want to see a Gary George only episode. We've done Gary and Teresa ones. We've never done just you two.
Sure we have.
Yeah.
Really?
Before Teresa's time, I think you did a George episode.
Oh, I'm just talking. Okay, well, since I joined in.
No, but seriously, have we ever done just George and I? I don't know.
I don't know. It'd be a funny episode. We just sit there going, what do you want to say?
Jess, come on, join, Jess.
Yeah, we'll just
Gary would ask a question, and it'd be crickets, and he'd have to answer his own question. Because George would be in the back, be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll just have it muted, and not you guys can't hear me.
Surely George and I can carry a conversation.
We'll see, I guess. Find out next week. Tune in.
If there's no episode next week, then you'll know that we couldn't carry a conversation. All right, well, let the anticipation build.